Welcome to another case study by Brand Mender, where we unpack the absolute best strategies behind growing brands. Today, we are looking at an incredibly fascinating explainer of Pratha Atta. Now, this is a 100% preservative-free, stone-ground chalky atta brand. And let me tell you, they faced a massive challenge in the FMCG sector. The big question was, how exactly do you conquer the highly competitive Maharashtrian kitchen? Let's dive into it.
Really think about it. How do you stand out in a kitchen that already has a clear favorite brand? The packaged food space in Maharashtra is literally packed tight. You've got countless auto brands fighting tooth and nail for just a tiny spot on the shelf. And a lot of these big national brands, they come in with these generic, wide-reaching marketing strategies. But guess what? Those cookie-cutter approaches, they completely fail to win over local households. Families here deeply value their regional food heritage, right? So a one-size-fits-all ad, it simply doesn't cut it anymore.
So what does this all mean? Well, it means the generic approach is a dead end here. Neutral content with absolutely zero nostalgia feels completely disconnected from the actual consumer. But here is the real game changer, the Brand Mender discovery. We dug deep into local consumer behavior and uncovered a massive cultural gap. Competitors were entirely missing those highly contextual everyday moments. I'm talking about household brats, the fasting days, and traditional bogues, the beautiful food offerings made to deities. Pratha Atta always had the cultural chops, for sure, but before this intervention, they just didn't have the narrative to actually showcase it to the world.
So we needed a highly focused, culture-driven game plan, which brings us to strategy, the 3 pillars of growth. These 3 pillars were absolutely crucial in shifting Pratha Atta from just selling a commodity to becoming a true emotional household staple. Step 1 is hyper-localization. This means intensely focusing on very specific regions, like Thane, instead of just spreading themselves way too thin across the map. Step 2, cultural storytelling. This is about actually integrating the brand directly into those regional traditions we just talked about. And finally, step 3 is platform-personalized content. You have to adapt your message for different digital spaces to really make it click.
And all of this came together beautifully in our anchor. Let's look at the Ganesh Chaturthi campaign.
This was where the magic happened. True cultural storytelling coming to life during Maharashtra's biggest, most emotional festival. They didn't just go out there and say, hey, buy our atta. No way. Instead, they spotlighted a hero product tailored perfectly for the occasion, Pratha Atta. They built this massive 60-day festive content calendar. We're talking pre-festival preparations, during the celebrations, and the post-festival wrap-ups. The entire journey. The focus was entirely on family rituals, the careful preparation of the traditional bogue, and really highlighting those vibrant festive colors and local ingredients. By seamlessly blending into these family preparations, it evoked so much nostalgia. It wasn't just flour anymore, you guys. It was an essential part of the celebration.
To really ground this emotional connection, they took a very clever language-first approach. They used beautiful phrases like "Aple Garatsa Prata," which translates to "the tradition of our home," paired with the iconic chant "Ganpati Bappa Moria." Now, the real genius here was using a 3-to-1 Marathi to English ratio across all their content. By speaking to the audience primarily in Marathi and using everyday regional colloquialisms, they optimized for different levels of digital literacy. This built an immense amount of authentic trust. You just can't achieve that level of connection with standard corporate English messaging.
And they didn't stop at just the language. Instead of relying on those glossy, overly produced generic ads that we see everywhere, they swapped all that out for reality. The campaign leaned heavily into video-led storytelling, featuring real homemakers and local brand executives, putting real people from the local community on screen. That deeply humanized the brand. It sent a clear message. You aren't buying from some faceless corporation. You're buying from people who actually understand the rhythm of your own kitchen.
Now, having a great message is one thing, but delivering it right is another. Let's look at the platform-specific rollout and impact.
Because deeply understanding your audience also means knowing exactly which digital platforms they use for different things. This dual platform strategy was literally brilliant. Facebook became the lead platform to engage their core demographic of 30-plus homemakers. Over there, the focus was all on festive creatives, longer video recipes, and really amplifying homemaker voices. Instagram, on the other hand, was all about capturing a younger, urban audience. They used blended Marathi-English captions, highly visual trending reels, and catchy audio. It's the exact same core message, right? But it's perfectly tailored to the cultural language of each specific platform.
So what was the result? Over 4,300 organic followers gained on Facebook alone. I mean, in a saturated FMCG market where consumer attention is incredibly hard to earn, that metric is huge. It absolutely proves that this strategy powerfully resonated with their core community. Through this hyper-local campaign, Pratha Atta successfully evolved from just another brand on the shelf into a familiar, trusted name in local households.
Successful local marketing isn't just about swapping out English words for regional ones. It requires a deep, empathetic understanding of everyday consumer behavior, their emotions, and their local pride. I highly encourage you to explore more Brand Mender case studies for deeper insights into branding, digital marketing, and business growth. But for now, as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. You might be translating your content, but are you actually translating your culture?